This is the Badger, mate. What? Okay, I'll stop. This is the Badger. It's a tier 10 British collector heavy. And it's a vehicle that a lot of people don't really play too much anymore because of the fact it was nerfed. Now, yes, it was nerfed quite heavily, specifically on its traverse speed. The vehicle went from going to like... But even though the traverse speed was nerfed on the Badger, and technically the armor with the calibrated shells buffs, this tank is still an incredibly fun and dangerous vehicle. And in today's gameplay, you're going to see why. Flossie and I did double tuning Badgers, and in both of these games, just absolute farming was dealt. So this first game we're on Desert Sands, and up against us we've got an Object 268 version 4, a Rinocerante, E4. Alright, well, we're going to start by moving up here. Now something that's interesting about the Badger, which is something that always surprises me, is how fast the tank is. The Badger used to be super slow, right? Used to go like 30. No joke, it went 30 at top speed when it was first released into the game. Now the vehicle can go 36. And it's just weird to me how fast the Badger goes now from how slow it used to be in the past. And because of that, this tank actually gets very quickly into position now. And even though it's not very quick on its traverse speed, it's fine for the most part. So we're going to aim it on that T-30. Shell does not go where I aim, but, I mean, it's the Badger. This gun is tragic, let's be honest. Like, the Badger may have all the DPM, but it does not have anything else. I didn't want to block Flossie here, because he's trying to move up, but at the same time, I don't want to be penned by the E4. But it's alright. E4 misses, so all is well that ends well. I get one shell into the E4, use my repair kit, second shell into the E4, that's already 800 health off of his vehicle. Flossie gets a pen into the E4, and now I'm pretty sure this player does have a shot, so I don't know, I guess he just didn't shoot, because I know he has the DPM for it. Well, at this point, my brain starts thinker-thonking. And I see that T110E4 turret. And I'm like, wait a second. I can just drive my Badger right here, and I can hide my vehicle. Now, I actually wonder, where did that V4 pen me? Oh, he hit me in the one corner that wasn't hidden. But what I do is, you can see exactly what I'm doing here, right? This is the only corner that V4 pen me at. But what I'm doing here is I'm trying to perfectly hide my lower plate. And look at this. It's even better now. Because of the way this turret is sitting, it basically gives me complete cover. This is just insane. So now I'm firing Hess shells into the rear of this IS-8. 600 damage there. Gonna angle it. There you go. We get a bounce because the IS-8 can't see me due to the E4 turret I'm using. There you go. 517 into the rear of his tank. We're now up to 3,000 damage already. And I'm gonna reload one more time. I was tempted to load HE, but I'll just fire a standard shell. Easy shot. And will our team get the clear? Indeed they do. I'm up to 3,700 damage now. Gonna move up a little bit more. Got the Rhino, we got the ML2, we got the 268. Now you can see the terrible traverse speed of this vehicle with this V4, right? Look at this. This is max traverse speed here. It's awful. And because of that, I actually bled 400 health to that ML2. And then the Rhino ends up poking me. I do get a nice shell into the Rhino, but as we can see, I do end up dying. And it's unfortunate, but the traverse speed when you're on medium terrain instead of hard terrain is actually tragic. And you can see that, right? But I ended up dealing 4,300 damage. In that short burst of DPM, I was able to rip out the HP of the enemy. I farmed that IS-8. I absolutely destroyed that E4. And I ended up blocking 2,500 in the process. Flossie also did 4,000. In 4 shots, I did 2,000 HP to that IS-8. And it is a great example of where the Badger can just rip out that damage. So now we arrive to Falls Creek. And Falls Creek it's honestly a decent map. It depends which spawn you get, though. Wargaming, once again, is terrible at balancing maps and gave this spawn a better position than the enemy spawn. The reason why is you're going to see me specifically drive my tank to this ridgeline right here. And this spot allows me to work hull down, aim in on that spot, aim in here, and anything that pokes there. I can overlook this entire position. Nothing can get to me. And what's BS is that this side does not have that spot. I mean, technically you could like position over here, I guess, but like, what are the chances of this spot actually working for you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And in reality, probably not much, right? The only other spot, like there's no other spot you can work. There's no hull down spot. Wargaming just utterly failed on map design when it comes to this map. And it's very sad, but it's true. So because of that, I'm going to put myself in this spot, which is completely overpowered for a hull down vehicle. And basically now the enemy team cannot push. This is what you do in the Badger, right? A lot of people think, oh, the Badger's supposed to be ripping out damage. And yes, it can rip out damage. Unfortunately, the gun is just so inaccurate sometimes. But in reality, the Badger's not really meant to rip out damage. What it's meant to do is it's meant to simply hold. You cannot counter this tank when it's holding on a ridgeline because it has too much DPM and armor for you to reasonably deal with, especially at a distance like this. So I've dealt 300 damage so far, and, you know, this game, not much is going on. Really, what we have to hope is that medium side does not end up winning. If their medium flank wins, it's going to be a serious problem for me because now I'm going to have to be dealing with medium tanks. E4 is not poking. I can't really do anything else. I don't know, the Yag tries like shooting my roof or something. Obviously doesn't do anything, but because of my poor accuracy, my shell does not end up hitting the Yag either. So currently, just waiting again. Still 300 damage to my title. Come on, somebody make a poke. Now, Flossie's in a decent position there to get some good bleeds out. And what's nice is, even though I'm not able to do much, because I'm stopping that E4 from poking, it gives Flossie the ability to basically have a free farm over there, right? Flossie can work that spot, and the E4 can't really do anything. So it's actually quite nice for Flossie. And, you know, I get to suffer a little bit, but it's fine, right? If we can get the win, that's all that matters, and that's what we were doing here. So I got the Yag spotted, still the E4. Nothing's going on. It's been now, what, 2 minutes into this game. I've done no damage. I got the E4. Shell doesn't. I don't even know what that shell did, but clearly did not do what I wanted it to. So I'm going to chill here. We're going to aim it on the C4 again. There you go. Shell bounces the hatch. Bruh. Still 300 damage dealt. Not too much of an exciting result so far. All right. Well, let's aim it on the E4 again, maybe. We got the Rhino. Not able to hit that. Okay. Still 300 damage. And there's the E4. We do get a pen, but the E4 actually manages to hit my lower plate. Bruh, why is this going so slow? Ooh. As you can see. Actually, I don't even think the E4 hit my lower plate. I don't know where that E4 hit me, to be honest, but it did end up hitting me and penning, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's all right. I'm still holding here. I still have 1,400 health, and that player still can't really do much about me. So here we go again. Gonna aim in on the E4 hatch, and boom, there you go. Finally, shell actually ends up penning. 400 damage, not bad. Okay, we're up to 1,200 now. Let's see, is that E4 going to poke again? Indeed he does. Boom, another 350 damage. Okay, sweet. I mean, it's an awful roll. Flossie gets 350 as well. That player should be dead right now if we both average rolled, but oh well. I'm going to aim in a high explosive, and boom. Okay, gets the clear. Not bad. Up to 1,600 now. As we can see, patience has definitely been key in this game. Now, I'm worried about that Yag Panther. I have no clue where the Yag is, but Flossie drives in, and judging that he didn't get shot, I'm like, yeah, he's probably not there. So now I'm going to move up myself, and we're going to speed along here. Flossie gets a nice shell into the Rhino. I snap the Rhino somehow. I'm now up to 2,000 damage, and yeah, that Rhino just got obliterated. I've got my adrenaline cooking. I do see that the game says I can pen the rear of the Yag with HE, but I don't believe that. Pretty sure that's just my mod, which is showing the armor to be a pen when it's not. But that's fine. Get a nice shell into the Yag. Now I'm over 3,000 damage, and all that's left is the Karo, who dies. So this game, even though at the beginning I had barely dealt anything, throughout the course of just a minute and a half, I was able to get myself to 3,500 damage. And it's such a good example of why the Badger is a great tank, right? Because most of the game I'm holding. I'm stopping the enemy from making any advances. The position I was in completely locked the enemy down. And it allowed Flossie to work a position where he could bleed out the enemy mediums and the 183. So basically, even though our mediums both did 0 frickin' damage, bruh, Flossie was able to deal 4,000 to those mediums and end up winning that flank of the map. And then my contribution to helping him hold basically allowed me to get some farming late game. So pretty solid results overall. The Badger is a very fun tank, and even though I know a lot of people don't love playing it due to the nerf, I still think it's great, right? It's still got the DPM, it's still got pretty good armor, and I think it looks amazing. You can let me know your personal feelings, comments, and opinions down below. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.